Alright, we're doing this all impromptu, sort of off the cuff. We'll see how it goes. Darwin to Jesus. Daniel. Can I call you Danny? I'm gonna call you Danny. I watched your video, the one about where you give all your followers reasons not to interact, not to give evidence to atheists, not to interact with them in good faith, giving them instructions on how to be shitheels in every conversation that they have. And I figured I'd not only respond, but I guess I'm going to up the ante. And we'll see how it goes. But I want to just sort of cover, because I have notes here about sort of what you said in your video. We're gonna go point by point here. The first part of your video, you talk about framing. You talk about how theists or Christians or whatever shouldn't accept the framing that atheists provide. Man, you're trying to convince other people out here. You don't get to decide what other people consider convincing evidence or convincing arguments. You just don't get to do that. You have to provide what you have, and if they find it convincing, they find it convincing, and if they don't, you have to accept that. Most of the time, by the way, your evidence is just things that you say axiomatically, and then you get mad because people disagree with you or they poke holes in it. So not super high quality stuff, man. You don't exactly give evidence. You have a bunch of arguments and axioms that you sort of throw at people. Not super great argumentation. Your second point about sort of providing evidence not being like a biblical thing to do. This is all presuppositional gobbledygook. You know, not to mention it's all terribly bad faith. You're doing it in bad faith. You don't actually want to have a conversation about what is true and what is not. You just sort of want to preach at people, and you want to evangelize people. And I guess that's what you've sort of gleaned from the message of the Bible, which I find really funny. The other thing is, if you're not going to take people at their word, right? You're talking about how the Bible says that everyone knows that God exists, sort of like fundamentally. It's written. I think the phrasing that the Bible uses, it's God has written it on the heart of every man or some such. You're just not taking people at their word, man. If you're not going to take people at their word about what they believe and how they think, why are you even here? You know, what are you even doing here? Your third point about it being futile, which you misspelled, by the way. The word is futile. There's a T in there. But, you know, whatever. I guess that lends credence to Kworak's theory about you probably just being in high school and nobody noticing, which I find really funny. This whole thing is just antagonism. You just sort of implying that oh, well, they're not going to change their mind, so why do it anyways? No, dude, that's not how any of this works. The wonderful thing about opinions and worldviews is that they can change, right? So if you provide new information to people, it'll change. They will change their world. Well, if they're reasonable people, right? And I would like to think that most people are reasonable. I would like to think that I'm reasonable. If you gave me information that conflicted with my worldview to such an extent that I couldn't fit it all together, I would be forced to change my worldview. I would have to change the way that I see things and the way that I sort of interpret information. And the fact that you're not even willing to give people the benefit of the doubt here that they might be reasonable people after all is kind of telling. It's just antagonism on your part. Further, if your arguments only work on people who already agree with you, because you're kind of presupposing that the people that you're talking to aren't going to agree with you regardless of what you tell them. If your arguments only work for people that already agree with you, you have bad arguments, you know? Normally this would go without saying, right? If nobody agrees with you except the people who agree with you, then the arguments you're using with the people who don't agree with you aren't that good because they're not convincing anyone. But I guess that might be over your head. And so this brings me to like the sort of meat and potatoes of this video, which is 5 things that you can do right now, not to provide evidence or proof, but to demonstrate that what you claim is real and true. If these things are real and you can proclaim sort of arrogantly, I would say, that they are real regardless of what anybody thinks, then you should be able to demonstrate it. And that's what I'm going to be challenging you to do. And I'm not going to give you 3, I'm going to give you 5 different demonstrations that you can do right here and right now in front of everyone. The first demonstration that I'll offer you is my demon summoning challenge. I've issued this challenge to 2 people already. Both of them have turned it down. One of them happened to turn it down after he accepted it. He backed out. Shout out to you, Robert Grun. I know you're watching. I wiped the floor with you, buddy. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy because that's what you got. You got what you asked for. But anyway, the challenge goes a little bit like this. There's 72 demons in the Ars Goetia, out of the Lesser Key of Solomon, which is a Christian magic book written by your church fathers. You get to pick any one of those 72 demons, and we will summon it together. And by we, I mean me. I will summon the demon. All you have to do is witness. And if you'd like to do an exorcism afterwards, after I sell my soul to this demon, you are more than welcome to, but it is optional. I'm not going to force you to exorcise the demon out of me. Now, if you're not happy with the Lesser Key of Solomon, if you happen to, for some reason, think that it's not a real book, then please provide any book of magic that you are willing to accept is real. Any method of summoning a demon, I will follow to the letter. And I know what you're asking. Hey, Cam, didn't the Milwaukee Atheists do this already? And the answer is yes, but they did it wrong, and I will do it right. They messed up the procedure. And I will be fixing that error. Demonstration number 2 is performing a miracle in front of neutral observers. The miracle has to be like tangible and observable. So nothing that's like purely spiritual or that manifests immaterially. It has to be something that we can observe, something that we can measure. All you have to do is perform the miracle in front of people. That's all you have to do. We will set up the neutral observers. We'll have cameras ready. You do your thing, and then we'll see what happens. Right? Super simple. Demonstration number 3 is producing a soul for observation, and the only caveat I have here is that whoever you're extracting the soul from has to be a willing donor. They have to volunteer. I don't want you taking souls from people who don't want to have their souls taken from them. But, assuming that you can extract it willingly from somebody, just produce it for observation, and we'll take it from there. Demonstration number 4 is successfully prophesize a specific event, complete with agents, date, time, before neutral observers. The event should be reasonably observable within a human lifetime, preferably not further than a month out, but if it's within a human lifetime and you're reasonably confident that you can do it, I guess I will have to tentatively accept it. And just do it in front of neutral observers. We will record all of the things that you prophesize, and then we will wait for the moment that you prophesized it would happen, and we will see if it happens. Preferably something that can be observed again. Demonstration number 5 is praying for a specific tangible event and having the prayer answered in front of neutral observers. The only thing that I'll ask here is that the answer to the prayer should be obvious and observable. So a neutral observer should be able to see the prayer being answered in front of them on camera. And the other thing is that it should be unexplainable by natural means. So whatever the answer to your prayer was, if it's triggering some sort of natural phenomenon, it should do so in a way that natural explanations can't account for. I figure that's like the easiest way to do this. But yeah, Danny, if you want to do any of these things, you're more than welcome to. I challenge you to do this. Put your money where your mouth is, buddy, because you talk a lot of shit on Twitter. You say a lot of dumb shit on Twitter. And in the words of X, it's not adding up. And I think a lot of us would really appreciate if you put your money where your mouth is and did the things that you claim can be done. Of course, because you believe that these things are possible. You believe in the power of prayer. You believe in the existence of miracles. You believe in the existence of the soul. So you should be able to demonstrate these things without much issue. So I guess that's my formal challenge to you, buddy boy. That and we want proof of life for your wife. I want proof of life. I don't believe that she's real. We want proof of life. So yeah, if you could provide that as well, on top of all of this supernatural stuff that you're talking about, it would be really nice. Korak brought up a pretty interesting point in one of his recent videos, that we haven't ever seen you and your wife in the same room. So it's kind of interesting. So we just want to make sure that you're not faking that. That's it. Anyway, I hope you do this. I really do. It would be really interesting. And if you ever want to talk, man, you can hit me up. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up here on YouTube. I'm more than welcome to field any, or rather, I'm more than happy to welcome you and field any questions that you might have. We can hop on a live stream and have a conversation. I would like to talk to somebody who is intelligent, not like Mr. Grun, and his boyfriend Gary. But you seem like you might be an intelligent person, despite all of the dumb shit that you say on Twitter. But it's okay. Twitter is a place. The Bird app is the place for people to say dumb shit, so I will forgive you for that. I'm not terribly worried about that. But yeah, hit me up.